You are not sacrificing enough to reach your goals. Most people fail not because their goals are impossible. They fail to reach their goals because they are not willing to repeat the boring actions for long enough. And over the last 6 months, that's what I have realized. My name is Myth. In the last 6 months, I've put on about 10 kg. I'm currently bulking towards 70 kilos. I'm currently weighing at 63 kg. I am documenting my journey on YouTube, and at the same time, I'm trying to become a profitable trader. So those are my 3 main focuses. In the last 6 months, I have made more progress than I have in my last 5 years. I have gone from weighing in at 53 kg to currently sitting at 63 kg. I've put on about 10 kg. This channel I've been uploading consistently for over 5 months now. In terms of my physique, I am much closer to building my dream physique than I was in the previous 5 years. And that is simply because of the main fact that I have realized over this past 6 months. Success is actually very simple. For example, when it came to gym, all it really was eating clean, training consistently and hard, and getting adequate rest. That's the bare minimum for that. For content creation, it was just as simple. All I had to do is upload consistently and try to incrementally improve the way in which I edit, create thumbnails, and improve how I speak. Simple does not mean easy. The main reason I realize most people fail is because people want the result without the willingness to live the lifestyle that it takes to achieve that result. For example, when I started making progress with my physique, with content, what you find is there is a lot of distractions available. Myself personally, I work a job where I start at 5 a.m. and I finish roughly about 2 o'clock. I've thought on many opportunities maybe I should switch jobs, but the thing that keeps me grounded is the simple fact that having this job consistently starting and finishing at that time allows me to have the rest of the day to focus on building my physique, creating content, and trading. Another thing that I realized is something that has been creeping in is comfort. For example, when I first hit 63, 64 kg, I took my foot off the gas a little bit because I felt like this is easy. Like, I could do nothing and I'm still going to make progress. Boy, was I wrong. I ended up losing some progress and I maintained around 62 kg and I'm back on making progress again. So now I know I'm not going to take my foot off the gas, and if I do take the foot off the gas, it will be something I'm doing intentionally with the plan on getting back on track without losing or maintaining the level of progress that I stopped at. Another thing that I did realize is wanting balance too early in the journey. Like, honestly, there is no such thing as balance. Like, you guys may see in my previous videos, I talk about having a certain level of balance. There is no such thing. The only thing that I realized is being singularly focused on achieving one thing at a time works best. Anytime I set out to do a couple things in a day, I end up procrastinating and not even getting that thing done. So, stay singularly focused, focus on getting one thing done. For example, if you're just starting off and you're trying to go to the gym, just go to the gym. Don't track. Forget what you're eating. Just go train, bro. Go train. Go get a good session in. Everything else will slowly fall into place, and once it falls into place, you can hold yourself accountable to that. Until you get to that point, the bare minimum. The bare minimum it takes you to move yourself towards that goal. In terms of fitness, the 3 main things is eating, sleeping, and training. Myself personally, right, I focus on my eating and my training. My sleep is the one thing where my balance suffers personally. Another hiccup that does seem to come quite often for myself is when work gets too busy, I end up falling off. Like, I find myself very drained, difficult to train, difficult to eat, etc. But here's the thing. The sooner you get back on the ball, the sooner you grab the reins again, get back on that horse, you get back to making progress. Consistency matters way more than motivation. Here's the reality of it all, right? Success is really boring. And that's the reason why most people find it difficult. Over the last 6 months, it has been extremely boring. When I tell you guys, my routine, day in, day out, has been so similar, I couldn't even tell you what day of the week it is because it practically feels like every day is the same. I need to hit 3,200 calories every single day, having the same meals, and the reason why you do this is because the less brain friction you have, the more space and attention you have to apply towards your other goals that you're focusing on. Most people would look at my life and say they don't want to live that, and that's fine, because here's the truth. I'm doing this because I want to get to the place that I want to be in life as fast as possible, and I'm willing to make the sacrifices necessary to get there. And if you feel that same way, you guys will understand exactly what I'm talking about. The key realization here is the faster you want success, typically that is just how much more boring your life will be, because you're doing the same thing again and again. But the good thing about that is your progress will compound, and compounding is literally the biggest thing in the whole element of being successful. Every time you turn up, day in, day out, that stacks on top of each other. That progress will just keep compounding on top of itself. When it comes to being consistent, you could take small dips, but you rocket back off because that compounding effect doesn't just disappear. However, this only comes into play when you have stayed consistent for long enough. If you stay in the gym, if you build your dream physique, here's the truth, you can fall off. And the next time you try to get back in shape, it's going to be that much easier because you've done it before. The one thing that you realize here is the fact that everything is essentially just a simplified system. If you are able to make it simple and systemized, you will find life far more easier. The more progress you make towards your goals, you will find more and more distractions available to yourself. But you need to understand, you have chosen this path to make progress in and be successful. If it does not accelerate your trajectory towards your goals, pay no mind to it, because that is simply going to steer you in a different path which does not take you to your ultimate goal. Just say no, stay singularly focused. And just to wrap this all together, understand this key concept. You only lose when you quit. Anytime you find yourself being inconsistent, understand it is far easier to maintain and make progress from your maintaining phase than it is to lose progress than to start making progress from that stage again. Most people simply get bored and they stop, not because they're not making progress, they just got tired of repeating the same boring process again and again. Success isn't complicated. Honestly, it is just boring consistency repeated for long enough.